Welcome back. With so many children living with disabilities, we're lucky to have dedicated professionals with experience serving a wide variety of needs. We're here with Jennetta Spears, a pediatric physical therapist and the CEO of the adaptive shoe company, EJ Kicks. So nice of you to be here. Welcome.
Nice to see you. Nice to meet you as well.
Well, let's talk about what you do. But first off, you know, it's such a, I don't want to say it's a unique field, but it's a field that a lot of people don't gravitate to. Tell me, how did you get into it?
Physical therapy for me has been, just eye-opening and eye-changing. Just working with children, seeing them grow and overcome so many different hurdles, it's such, for me, a blessing just to be a part of their journey. And for me, I wanted a job working with special needs children, but I wanted an active job. I wanted an active role. And seeing physical therapists in the hospital at a pediatric rehab, it sold me into this is what I want to do.
So you always kind of had this desire, or did you have a personal experience?
I have always had this desire and this want to help children. Even as a child in elementary school, I was the one volunteering, wanted to be with the kids. If they had a walker, I was curious. I was very curious as to why I wanted to. I asked a lot of questions, just wanted to be involved somehow.
So let's talk about the kids. Tell me about them. I mean, what kind of folks are we talking about here, the clients that you serve?
So some of the kids, they have like cerebral palsy, hypoxic ischemic encephalopathy, different brain injuries, there's so many different things. Children sometimes are born with conditions and sometimes they're acquired by afterbirth, and so brings about many challenges, and I'm here as a physical therapist to help them overcome and manage their gross motor skills, like sitting and crawling and walking. And
what's that like for you when you actually help someone like that? Because it's a big deal, whether it's simple crawling or something more when you get into teenage years.
It is amazing to be a part of their first moment sometimes, and it's just, even if it's just rolling over or reaching out to get a toy, the first moment the child sits up or takes their first steps, all of those are big moments, and it's a sign of independence. They have explored something new and something else that they can do for themselves.
And the parents.
Yes.
Oh, they got to be very thankful.
Yes, and pediatric physical therapists, we work alongside parents very closely. We're there for therapy probably weekly for an hour, but it's truly up to the parents to continue the work on the exercises, continue to promote the independence for their children as well.
Now, I know you also do, and I don't know if this was a result of COVID or what it was, but you can do this with a televisit kind of. How does that work?
Yes, it is interesting. For me, when I did telehealth, I actually did more physical therapy evaluations for children who need equipment in the home. Because of the pandemic, a lot of children lost their therapists or didn't have access to therapy because many people weren't going into homes anymore. However, if you needed a new walker, if you needed a new wheelchair, a piece of your wheelchair broke, and insurance requires that a physical therapist writes a letter of medical necessity. How do you do that if you don't have a physical therapist? And so during the pandemic, I saw so many more kids who needed equipment in their homes because they didn't have a physical therapist. So it made me feel good that I was helping more people all around North Carolina because it was telehealth. I could help someone in Charlotte, I could help someone in Wilmington. I didn't necessarily have to be there.
Well, and folks, listen to this. Now, in addition to doing this, and I guess it's in fact, we'll get there as to why you created a shoe company. How does this all fit together? So let's start with that. You're working with these kids, and oftentimes they wear braces, correct?
Correct, and they wear what's called an AFO or SMO foot brace, and so these are braces that go and support their feet and their ankles and sometimes knees, it depends, they're different lengths. With that, it makes your foot a little bit wider overall. You still have to fit the brace and the foot inside of a shoe. It's difficult to find shoes that fit over a brace. They have to be extra wide, have extra depth. need to fit overall. And believe it or not, in 2022, there's still not a lot of companies that accommodate shoes for people that are wearing orthotics.
So you decided, what the heck, I'm going to start a company and do just that.
Correct.
Okay, tell me how you were able to do that.
So during the pandemic, I decided to put it all in gear. It's like I had an idea, why not research and figure out how can I make this vision a reality? Had no clue where to start. I'm a physical therapist, don't know much about shoe designing, shoe making. I Googled, I researched, and it got tough. It got tough. Did a lot of praying and figuring out what is it that I need to do? How can I do this? Started reaching out to different people, and I was grateful enough that Billy's, he makes Billy's footwear, which is also another adaptive wear that has a zipper. He ended up responding back to my message, and he talked to me, I talked to him, and it was very encouraging. And he kind of helped guide me in the right direction.
And for folks, and I bet it the parents who are watching who has a child who wears braces, you know what it means to a kid, regardless, right? I mean, you got to, footwear is important.
Yes.
Is it not? And a lot of the footwear that was out there really, showing my age, not cool, right? You know, it's not the thing that a kid would want to wear. So you have found a way to make the shoes that kids would love to wear. How did you do that? I mean, give me the process, and how does it fit over a brace differently than the other ones?
So when it came to the style, I asked myself, what style would I have wanted, or what style did I like in high school? What style shoe is popular? And I'm really big on ball shoes, high top ball shoes, basketball shoes, Nikes, Jordans, and all of those. And I'm like, how can I make this into an orthotic shoe? Had several ideas running through my head, and I honestly didn't know until someone drew up what I asked them to draw. And I looked at it and I said, you know what, if this area could stretch on my shoe, more orthotics and bigger and bulkier braces could fit in this shoe. It would expand and allow more surface area for the brace to fit into. And all of this is scary because all of this was on paper, and it's like you had to spend a lot of money just to get a prototype in hopes that it comes out the way you want to and it works the way you want it to work. And it turned out everything worked out wonderfully with the extra depth, extra width, the really thin tongue, the extra long Velcro, and then the stretch. I was amazed at how many different sizes, or the fact that I could fit my own foot into the size 5 that we had just because of the accommodating stretch.
That's amazing.
And I wear a 9.5.
That is amazing.
Yes.
Price. Can I ask you this? Because I think this is the best part. I really do. How much, on average, do the shoes go for?
So our current price right now is $75
That's
for the
amazing.
shoes.
That's
and
amazing.
Our sizes run from what's considered a US toddler 11 to a size 5. However, saying that, they actually run big. And so I had to create my own sizing chart, and I have videos on how to actually measure, because that was another difficult part for parents, caregivers, and myself working at a facility. How do I know what size to buy if they're wearing a brace? All shoes are sized for feet, not for foot and a brace.
Right.
And so I feel like it's very important to have a specific sizing chart so parents know, hey, measure the foot. If you get this number, this is the size that you'll need. It just helps make it easier and more accessible.
For folks who are watching, how can they get a hold of you and maybe get some more information?
Yes, so for more information about EJ Kicks, you can visit our website at www.ejkicksllc.com. You can also find us on Instagram at EJ Kicks LLC. And then I also have another page for just physical therapy and other sorts at J Spears PT LLC.
That is so awesome what you do. Thank you for taking time for us today. Really appreciate it.
Thank you so much for having me.
All right, stick around because we'll be right back.